chance to stand on the podium for the Portuguese, obviously a big deal.
Yeah. Just 2 more A finals remaining. Can't believe we're already at the penultimate A final. The women's single sculls. We ride a drone back to the start. 6 athletes, Ireland, Australia, Switzerland, Paraguay, Greece and Germany.
Yeah, the contest in the centre lanes is Holly Davis from Ballycoy, County Cork, from Lee Valley Rowing Club. She studies at Texas, she's a longboard. Romy Campwell, the medic from Melbourne University Boat Club.
Aurelia Maxima Janssen from Switzerland, getting herself ready. And here, probably one of the favorites, Nicole Martinez from Paraguay.
Yeah, the Guarani warrior getting herself ready for the Junior Pan Am Games in Asunción, her home city. Elena Diavati, the 17-year-old from Corfu originally.
And here, Germany, Rian Lagerpusch, coached by Ralph Holman. Lane 6, closest to you on the picture.
Australia, Switzerland, Paraguay, Greece, Germany, attention.
That's such a slow start from the Australian scull. And what happened to her?
Yeah, I think she caught a crab on the first stroke. She's recovered now, but you can see here from the drone footage already a length down. I think she was balancing on the start line, and I think for her.
And there we see the Swiss sculler Janssen. She's switched boat. She was racing in a swift boat really up until now, but she's now in that Felipe shell and going head-to-head with the Paraguayan and the Greek sculler, not overawed. In fact, it's the bow of Diavati, the 17-year-old. Every time we've said it, the Greeks just go out on the first quarter.
Yeah, I think that's a part of the Greek rowing program, or probably it could be in the tap water as well. It's great to see her out, and I think she's actually in the lead by a whisker. Aurelia Maxima Janssen from Switzerland, still rowing with those very distinctive Macon blades, up in the mix, and she has a chance to win another medal here at the under-23 level. Also, of course, an Olympian in Paris. But those are the 2 athletes leading at the moment, and sandwiched in between them, Nicole Martinez, the Yale Bulldog, going with them, and currently 3rd overall. And look at how well Cantwell from Australia has recovered, regaining contact with the leading crews here.
That's sensational, but how much effort has she put in for that? I mean, it is incredible. She is overlapping the podium places in this first quarter. We're coming up to 500 metres, we're through the 500 metres. Here we are, and it is Diavati from Greece. She says, really, she put so much work in. She came from Corfu. She lives alone in Volos to train. She says she doesn't have the life of a teenager, but she has goals, and the biggest one is the Olympic Games. And this is the pathway to those games. The Paraguayan, I'd say, Tim, just falling back a little bit behind Janssen and the Greek, and she's had such a fantastic season, held down the 7th seat in that Yale crew, which took the NCAAs, that program won by Will Porter. But she needs to do something now, because Janssen is stamping her authority on this race.
Yeah, Janssen going for a change of gear and trying to regain the lead, but Diavati from Greece still up there, and basically level pegging at this moment. We're about to come into the picture here with Aurelia Maxima Janssen. You can see that low rate of striking, really long connection out in front with those Macron blades.
Yeah, she rows a longer arc than anyone, and those blades, I mean, basically in 1992, the world stopped using Macron blades, but Aurelia said, I learned to row with Macron blades. They're the ones I prefer. I'm going to stick to them. She has changed a little bit in terms of her setup, experimenting with the Felipe scull, but so far, well, she lost the under-23s last year. She was in the Olympics, of course. She lost to Alex Foster, the German sculler, who was also in the Olympics at the under-23s in St. Catherine's. I mean, that must have hurt, but Abau's now in front of Diviati, the woman from Corfu. And Janssen is stamping her authority in this race in the third quarter, Tim.
Yeah, she's really going out there. And I think this is a similar race strategy which we saw last year in St. Catherine's as well. That middle kilometer trying to make the difference there, because she's not the best sprinter in the final 500. But if I were Janssen from Switzerland, I would be worried about Diviati from Greece, who is just a second down at 1,000. And Cantwell, here we ride with the young Greek athlete, and look how well she is connected at the front. Such good technique from all these Greek scullers.
It's a beautiful technique. I really like the way her plates are very flat. There's no sort of riding up the loom of the water. And I have to say, it has been sensational from the Australian from Melbourne University Boat Club, the medic. She's so proud of her achievement. 5 years of balancing a full-time university degree while training up to 22 hours a week. And she had the nightmare first stroke. She was a length down, and now she's right back into a medal position. And that would be incredible if she was to get a medal out.
Yeah, that would be quite amazing. And just looking at her boat speed, she's up there with the fastest crews, and she's just 3/4 of a length down on the young Greek sculler. And sad to see Nicole Martinez from Paraguay slipping back. Clear water down on the Australian at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look. I mean, she's not quite as long. You compare Martinez with Janssen. They're just around the front. She's not quite got as much purchase, even though she's using those chopper blades. There's the Australian, cool, calm, and collected. 22-year-old medic looks across. Can I make the silver medal? She's asking herself.
Yeah. From Williamstown in Australia, and now racing here in Poznan, and she's closing in on Diviati from Greece, outside of the picture here because the drone footage concentrates on Janssen from Switzerland, who is, well, look at that, Martin, what she's done in that middle kilometer. She's opened up 2.5 lengths of clear water to Diviati from Greece, still in silver medal position, who is about 3/4 of a length ahead of Cantwell from Australia. And then there's a bit of a clear water gap to Martinez and Lagerpusch from Paraguay and Germany, respectively.
And it's hard to sort of think this is Janssen's 5th under-23 regatta, I believe.
Yeah, and she could get her 5th medal because I think she medaled on every single occasion when she raced at the under-23s.
Yeah, she's a fantastic cross-country skier. She's competed in the Alpine Cup in Switzerland, which is just one level below the Senior World Cup competition. Such a multi-talented athlete. Keeps herself to herself. She's got dual German citizenship. Coach Klaus-Dieter Stecker been looking after her all this time. And that's a beautiful shot. You can see the length that she gets out forwards. Almost as long as Ollie Zeidler when he's at his best there.
Yeah, it's an amazing bit of technique, and the speed she's generating, Martin. See, just a few moments ago, she was 1 kilometer an hour quicker than anybody else out in the water.
Sensational Diviati there. She looks across in the back. I cannot see how Romy Cantwell can find a sprint for the line. She had to sprint to make up for that terrible first stroke that she had. She's got herself into the medal reckoning. But Janssen, this is the biggest distance, the biggest margin that we've seen, Tim.
Yeah, this is so dominant. An imperious performance by Janssen. She's opened up 50 meters of a lead, and she's enjoying the ride into the finish. Just a couple of strokes to go for Aurelia Maxima Janssen from Switzerland in a class of her own. She crosses the line, gold medal for her, and then it's a big gap, but it's going to be Eliane Diviati from Greece. Gutsy start, rewarded with a silver medal across the line, and what a performance by Romy Cantwell from Australia for the bronze. And then I think it will be Martinez from Paraguay across the line 4th, Lagerpusch from Germany 5th, and last but not least, Holly Davis from Ireland.
Well, that was one hell of a performance. You can see her shoes in that boat, Janssen. They're so high up. She's got such high feet in that new, I think that's the Philippe shell. It is the Philippe shell that she's been trying to switch from the Swift boat with the modern sort of carbon wing riggers that she's using. But of course, the old Macon blades. Look at that margin, 10 seconds, the biggest winning margin we've seen here at the under-23s. Romy Campbell getting the better of Nicole Martinez. Hotly fancied to challenge Janssen for that gold medal, but it didn't happen for the Paraguayan.